Every day now we're approving visa revocations. If you tell us when you apply for a visa, I'm coming to the U.S. to participate in pro-Hamas events, that runs counter to the foreign policy interest of the United States of America. It's that simple. So you lied. You came. If you had told us that you were going to do that, we never would have given you the visa. Now you're here. Now you do it. So you lied to us. You're out. It's that simple.
The Trump administration crackdown against hate continues. The DHS announcing that it has denied a Brown University doctor re-entry to the United States because of her support and sympathy for the terror group Hezbollah. That includes attending the funeral of Hezbollah's former leader. And now the elite school is telling international students and staff to avoid travel outside the United States. Joining us now is Brooke Goldstein, Executive Director of the Lawfare Project. Great to have you here. Here's what DHS posted about Dr. Alawiya. That last month she traveled to Beirut. She attended the funeral of Hassan Nasrallah. He was, of course, a brutal terrorist who led Hezbollah, responsible for killing hundreds of Americans over a 4-decade terror spree. Alawiya openly admitted to this to CBP officers, as well as her support of Nasrallah. A visa is a privilege, not a right, and goes on to say what Rubio said. How does the government fare on this one, Brooke?
I think very well. I don't think there could be a stronger case not to allow someone entry into this country if they've provided allegedly material support to a designated terrorist group. And I think all of the arguments about free speech are very dangerously and intentionally misleading. You do not have a free speech right to come into this country after attending the funeral of a terrorist leader that has participated in multiple attacks that have killed American citizens. You know, I'm so concerned with Brown University's response here. They are advising their own students not to travel, and they've released a statement saying they're concerned about the pipeline.
Let me put this up on the screen. So this is Brown University, and a letter to students yesterday was reported widely that we understand that many in our community are feeling a great deal of uncertainty and anxiety. Out of an abundance of caution, we encourage international students, staff, faculty, and scholars, including U.S. visa holders and permanent residents or green card holders, to consider postponing or delaying personal travel outside the United States. So they put the chill on. I want to ask you one thing, though. So Alawiya, as I understand it, she did attend the funeral. She said that to DHS. But is attending a funeral considered material support?
Well, we don't know exactly what she did at that funeral, and I would argue, yes, it is. It's not a matter of free speech. You are flying to a foreign country to show your support for a designated terrorist group. And what's so troubling about Brown University's statement is how many people do they have at that school that they're concerned that they shouldn't travel outside the country. They shouldn't be concerned unless they're importing terror supporters as doctors and medical students. And how would this woman even take the Hippocratic Oath when her spiritual leader is Hassan Nasrallah, who has called for the elimination of Americans, who supports the killing of American civilians and Jewish babies, all for the sake of jihad? It's insane what's going on at this university. They should be concerned about the process by which they're vetting the people that they are bringing into this country.
I think the media coverage is also interesting. Look at these headlines. It's just a variety from PBS, NBC, and The Independent. You know, the headlines don't get you into the whole story, but a lot of people just read the headlines, and it says the professor was deported without explanation or despite having valid visa. And they're not getting, you know, if you're just scanning the headlines, you might think that this is some sort of rogue operation. This was specific, and she had deleted the photos on her phone in anticipation of there being questions about it. Let me give you the last word.
Well, the truth is she wasn't so much deported as she was denied entry. She was never really allowed into this country. And the question is, what do we want this country to look like? Do we want a country? We cannot have a country if we have complete open borders and there's no vetting and we're allowing terrorist supporters in our country.
All right, Brooke Goldstein, lots of moving parts today. We appreciate you helping us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now